music. Hey you guys, and welcome to the Steele Wars Hyper Chat, and we are broadcasting live Saturday, 24th of August, 2019. We are joined in studio from Will Communication. We've got Justin Rodriguez.
Hello, how are we?
And welcome him back. The podcast, we tried to do the podcast without the producer Rashad last night, and did you sneak in earlier in the day to because I found one plug just unplugged.
There's a lot of different ways to ensure job security in this industry. I'm going to leave it at that. Studies.
Dr. Showbiz and giggling on the line all the way in New York. If to you that's a long way away, it's our buddy from the Canto Bite Dispatch, Emily Lind.
Hello.
And our live reporter on the scene.
A guy on the street.
Our, what did we call you last night, Dom? Our Canadian agent from the Star Wars Underworld.
Agent, yeah.
We've got Dominic Jones. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, everybody. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be bringing D23 to you all via cell phone and in an empty wing of a hotel right now. So it's exciting times.
Oh, you're staying at the hotel empty wing. That's really nice. Spacious.
It's a nice perk.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Canadian government for you.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Justin loves his Star Wars.
That's what happens when you're a Canadian agent.
CA. Now, Dom was there in the room for everything that went down in the last 2 days of note. You were there when Hannah Montana got announced. Was that exciting?
It wasn't Hannah Montana.
Oh, I totally...
If it had have been Hannah Montana, I would have personally...
That's Miley.
It's the same person. Isn't that the whole plot of the show?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Best of both worlds.
The other one's Hillary Duff.
Wait.
But anyway, we're burying the lead. We had such a huge weekend of Star Wars news. Dom was there, and I know what everyone's talking about, and Emily knows what everyone's talking about, and it's the logo placement on the Disney Plus Star Wars. Can you guys see this on the live feed?
There's a glare. There you go.
The Force Awakens logo is on the other side to everyone else's. It's what?
No, it's gone.
Bob Iger has just got it in for Star Wars loving OCD sufferers. Emily, where do you stand on this hotbed issue?
Here's the thing. If I want so badly to be able to give you crap about this, but I actually agree with you.
Thank you.
It's just, I don't understand how you do that. It's such a basic thing. It really annoys me.
See, that's the thing. Sometimes you can be so pedantic that everyone does have to agree with you because you've nailed it. Emily, how's the chat room going? Is everyone hearing us?
Yes, they are. Everything apparently sounds great.
So
we're already way better than last night.
Rashad, you're going to have to get rid of Emily's face. I'm not sure if you can see what's happening on the screen.
Whoops.
My God.
Bye, Emily.
Emily, it's been you speaking as me for the first couple minutes of the show.
It was just more fun.
Yeah, I know I'm watching. I wasn't going to say anything because I like it.
Oh, God.
That's actually hilarious.
I'm slipping.
Yeah, it's maybe we can do the podcast without you.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure.
Remains to be seen.
I'm not sure. All right, well, while we have a podcast Civil War, let's find out about Galactic Civil Wars. Segue, anyone?
Ooh.
Hey? I've worked on commercial television. Dom, before we get into it, you have been living it. What's your number one thing?
For me, it was the Rise of Skywalker preview today. I love all the TV stuff, but for me, at the end of the day, Star Wars is movies, and the movies are always what hold my attention the most. And so to get to see that and have it be basically a new trailer, essentially, it was about a 45 seconds, a minute worth of new footage, so a new teaser at the very least. That was just so exciting, especially when you're going in expecting a behind-the-scenes reel that is sort of along the lines of what we've already seen for Force Awakens and Rogue One and Last Jedi and everything. So to get something that you weren't expecting that has so much intriguing stuff in it. That really sort of was the highlight of in a weekend full of other highlights.
Dom, you continue your tradition of being the Canadian Steele. I'm not sure if that's an insult or not, but yeah, I came off like everything was great.
Or are you the Australian Dom?
Either or.
We're having an existential crisis.
Yeah, wow.
This week on Steele Wars.
The Rise of Skywalker. What about?
Oh, I enjoy the Mandalorian stuff more than anything because we didn't really see much of Rise of Skywalker unless you were in the building. So.
Richard, as a tip of the hat to everyone listening via podcast, is just holding up his T-shirt.
Yeah, it's great. It's a Mandalorian.
Okay. And Emily, how about you?
I mean, Mandalorian is the most exciting thing for me. I mean, partially because that's what we got to see, but also I'm so excited about that show, and I'm glad there's some footage out there now for everybody to see, so that there can be public excitement about the show now.
If we're talking about footage getting released, there has been word that what Dom saw will be released on Monday.
Yeah.
EW said I don't know what word they used. They didn't say definitely, but they understand. I think that's what they understand. But this is like post-Bresnik on EW. So this, who knows? This could just
The
be
Wild
like,
West.
This could be just like
Trustworthy?
a high-end YouTube channel for all we know. Oh my God, speaking of YouTube channels, one very notorious YouTuber, leave it there, has done, because I was seeing if the footage had leaked.
Mm-hmm.
He's done like this morning, like 8 videos.
Really?
Incredible.
I haven't seen any of it.
Oh,
Content king.
I couldn't click one, but one of the good ones was with the backstage or the behind the scenes footage. This changes everything, and it's like, of course it does.
Yeah.
Because now you have to make up stuff around
Right.
the footage. It's got to fit at least with that now.
How many Star Destroyers is Ray going to pull down from orbit this time?
Oh, I'm open for several. Let's be. Ray could only pull down like a blockade runner at best.
Yeah.
Come on, Rashad.
She can't do a Star Destroyer. Mary Sue. How
Now-
dare you?
Dominic,
Yeah.
run us through the footage. What do you remember? I know you posted on Twitter a very elaborate book of notes. Run us through the book, buddy.
Yeah.
Bring us the good book,
So
the New Testament.
The Book of Dom.
Dom 3:16
Damn.
said, "May the force be with you." Dun 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 dun.
yeah. So there's a lot in there, and I can't remember the precise order of all of it because it all goes by so quickly. But you do see some stuff of Rey and Kylo fighting, having their lightsaber duel. It looks to be the same scene from the Entertainment Weekly, Vanity Fair photo shoot that came out a couple months ago. I saw at one point C-3PO, he had like red glowing eyes.
What?
Whoa.
Rey.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Darth
yeah.
3PO.
Rewind.
Yeah.
C-3PO had
Yeah.
red glowing eyes, like one of those. You know when they Photoshop people that they don't like, and they like Ryan Johnson with red eyes.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
The lens flare thing?
3PO.
So that's what's happened to him.
Yeah, pretty much. He had red eyes.
Oh.
Let
What
me
I
ask you,
remember, I
Dom.
remember sort of seeing it and going, huh, yeah.
How did we haven't seen these red eyes. We only just found out about them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I've got red eyes, so I don't think I could like really hassle other people.
It has to
do.
be like some bomb space weed or something.
some oil.
Some oil.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice, thank
some
us.
some spice oil.
Now, when you saw the red eyes, what emotion did that generate within your fairly placid Star Wars fandom psyche?
Shock, intrigue, confusion.
Positive or negative?
Trying to connect it to certain things that have been rumored, all that stuff.
Man, Dom is such a more positive person than me because just hearing about that is like, I can feel the anger welling up in me, having not even seen a clip about a thing that even if I saw the clip, I would not have sort of correct context for.
Awesome comment in the chat here on YouTube. Paul Tastic says, red arms, red eyes, come on, JJ. And then rightly, he gave himself 2 laughing smiley faces. which I thought he could go a third.
Yeah, I think 3 is his magic number.
Yeah.
Don't sell
That-
yourself
that was
too
the-
short there, Paul
yeah.
Tastic.
Come on, man.
Please continue, Dom. I admittedly blacked out after you said the C-3PO red eyes,
Right.
so start back there.
Okay. There's also a shot of Rayfin, Poe, and Chewie. They're all sitting together in the desert, and they look over. They're sort of standing on a cliff, and they're looking down, and you see this massive like village or festival or something going on. But you can see there's tons and tons of people and tents and all that sort of stuff. There's a bunch of shots from space. You see a sky just full of Star Destroyers, perfect for somebody to rip out of the sky if they wanted to. You see the Rebel fleet led by the Millennium Falcon coming out of hyperspace.
Ooh.
What? Who's in the Rebel
Yeah,
fleet? Who's in the Rebel fleet?
There's like X-wings and some of the other ships. I feel like there were B-wings, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember precisely.
So I'm going to
but
pound you
it's
for
led-
info on this one.
Led
Yeah,
by
me
the
too.
Falcon.
Is there like capital ships, or are they all fighters?
It looked to be all fighters.
Okay. No cruisers, no blockade runners, no Moncal. Intensifies.
Hey, Dom, when you were talking about how they're looking down on the festival, I'm already
Yeah.
trying to decode, like, because Star Wars needs all these different parts to it. I feel like that's going to be our new weird musical number, like the Jabba flow. Or,
Oh,
like I think
see.
we're going to see some sort of like crazy musical act that, JJ had that in the first
Yeah.
one, and
Yub Nub remix.
I'm up for it.
Yub Nub remix.
Because we haven't seen.
yeah.
Imagine if it was like a festival, like a Lollapalooza,
Right.
Like it was a full on, and we saw a band. It was like Hugh Fleming's photo, but it's like he's painting, but it's other characters.
Right. It's like Old Town Road. This is like the 30th remix.
I don't even know what that reference is. Old Town Road.
Oh, buddy.
It's a Lil Nas X.
We'll teach you. Don't
Okay,
worry.
I'm going to get taught something. Dom,
Anyway.
please continue because I need to get out of this reference.
Yeah. Sure.
It's a sick reference, bro.
You have the sickest references.
There's a new shot of Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia. There's a shot where there's some red laser, big laser blasts, like seemingly coming from space or the sky. They're just smashing down on the ground. And then there's also a shot of Rey throwing her lightsaber, and it kind of and then using the Force to call it back to her. Felt, if you remember, like in the old Battlefront 2, you could do that move. It felt very much like that.
Ooh.
And then the big final shot, the money shot, was Rey kind of dark side looking with a double-bladed red lightsaber. And then it ended on that with a little bit of Sidious dialogue saying something to the effect of the journey draws to a close or to an end or something like that.
And I'm not sure if you touched on it, but it opened with like all scenes from other films. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it started with like little moments from each of the previous 8 movies in release order. So it started with New Hope, went through Empire and Jedi, then through the prequels, and then the 2 most recent ones, all leading up to a title card that said this Christmas, and then all the Star Wars footage, all the Rise of Skywalker footage started playing, and the auditorium started losing its collective mind.
Now, I might need help from the chat room or you guys if you know, but did StarWars.com change the wording of how they described Rey?
I haven't looked. What do you mean?
Like, I'm not sure how, because I was reading it on Twitter, but I'm not sure if this is like on StarWars.com. I don't know what it is. D23 Expo. It says, including a moment where Rey appears to toss a fully ignited lightsaber, and of course the sight of Rey with a reticulated red blade was nothing short of thrilling. I don't know if I've just read this wrong, but I think originally the word was the vision of Rey with a red articulated red blade.
Griffin in the chat says that, yes, says initially it was referred to as a vision.
Ooh.
And a couple of
game
people
changer.
saw that too. So it's not just you making things up, Steele.
Excellent. Finally, because yeah, I've read a few theories that it was, it's going to be like a vision that maybe Palpatine puts into
Rey's head or something.
Yeah, into Rey's head. No, or into Kylo Ren's head, maybe.
Oh, some sort of dark vision quest, swamp forest situation, maybe.
Now, yeah, are we all? This is no one's theory because so many people have had it. But Dom, you were there. You saw
Yeah.
it live. Is that helmet the thing that's like possessed by the Emperor? And is that like who he thought was Darth Vader talking to him before The Force Awakens?
It's an interesting theory. It's certainly an interesting one, and we did see a little bit more footage from the film on Friday at the Disney Legends panel in their just kind of overview of Disney stuff, sizzle reel that they started with. And in that, you do see Kylo open up a space drawer and take out the helmet. It's very clearly stuff from the upcoming film, and it's probably the same stuff that was shown at the Disney Investors Conference way back when. So it seems likely, it seems plausible, it seems like an interesting theory. And if he's going back to that helmet to look for more inspiration, especially with Palpatine sort of making himself more of a presence in this movie, it would make sense. I could see it all working together. That this is how they tie all three films together, is by saying that whatever it was that drove Kylo to the dark side in the first place was planted there by the Emperor. And it's an interesting idea. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's an interesting one.
Did the panel address the logos on the Disney Plus page?
Are we going back to
It
the
did
font
not.
thing?
Yeah. I just keep it. I got to keep it in the conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like this Kenobi thing came around because of, fan positivity and stuff, and maybe if we just get it talking,
Just get the conversation going?
yeah.
Well, this is the second hyper chat in a row we've had a font issue that we've discussed.
Oh, I know.
So we just got to keep the momentum going.
no one can say I'm faking it.
No, it's a genuine disconcern.
I feel like Emily's just dropped out after this.
No, I'm still here. I'm thinking about the helmet. I'm trying to not think about the logo. Because I'm going to see it and it's going to annoy me. So I'm just thinking about the helmet and I'm going to let that annoy me instead.
I always like add-on products, like how, like I saw, like people make like display, like stands and stuff for your Star Wars figures.
Sure.
So Star Wars fans can buy them, but they're not Star Wars products. Anyone can make them. I'm thinking about this add-on to Disney Plus, and it's just a little like adhesive sticker
For your television.
yeah, that you place just over that logo that like inverts it.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
It ruins everything else you watch on the television forever.
Except that.
It makes it perfect.
People make like Chrome plugins and stuff that fix some of the annoying layout issues on Netflix, and like it'll like rearrange things on the page for you. Maybe somebody can do one that is just changing that logo on Disney Plus. The only thing it does, I would pay $2 for it.
$2 a day.
Maybe even $3. I mean, not a day.
Oh.
Just overall, I would pay $2.
Doesn't even sound
Maybe $5.
Doesn't sound like it's even that important to you then.
Not that I'm not enjoying this, but I do have a helmet-related question. I wanted to posit to the panel of experts here.
Okay.
In Force Awakens, and I think Last Jedi, we even see Darth Vader's helmet, right? Like, Kylo has it.
Yeah.
Doesn't he destroy it? He doesn't destroy it. What am I thinking of? He destroys his helmet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got to put it back together for 9.
The actual, yeah. But I just thought for some reason that he like threw his helmet into Darth Vader's helmet. It turned to. I don't know why I was imagining
but
that.
you got to think about like if you're in your Star Wars room and you're angry,
Yeah.
and you got to take out some violence, but you have to smash something substantial.
Right.
You smash like your Hasbro helmets, not like your old like ones from the vintage, like your Don
Right.
Post ones.
Right. Not the collector series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Okay.
Dom,
Yeah.
tell us what it was like in the air when Kathleen Kennedy, who I must say, with all her firings, she's like, if anyone's ever seen the English Office and David Brent gets fired, he runs the paper company.
Okay. He's like their Michael Scott.
Ricky Gervais, yeah. He gets fired, but then he just keeps coming, like hanging out of the workplace. From all the YouTube videos I watch, I feel like that's what's happening. Like, do you know what I mean? Like who Filoni was about to walk out and give that presentation, and she just sidled in.
Yeah.
And no one had the heart to tell her.
She's a very good
Stole the
sidebar.
PowerPoint clicker and from Dave, and so she was able to just walk out there. Yeah.
As the presentation yesterday with all the Disney Plus shows, Dom, and they just started like just dropping new shows, and then like there was so many Marvel new shows. I was like, I feel like we're due a show. They can't close with like I was gonna say Star Wars, and not have something that could top all that. How like what was the vibe there? Were you going in like Clone Wars Corey, just sure as day we're going to get Kenobi, or what was the vibe?
I was kind of, because of all the rumors and stuff last week, I felt pretty good about it. That it seemed like a very real possibility, but I was also bracing myself for the idea that it wouldn't happen. And that the panel would just end with a Mandalorian trailer, and then they'd be like, "All right, thanks for being here, everybody." But when after the Mando trailer aired, Favreau thanked everybody for being there, and he said, "All right, Kathleen Kennedy is going to come back out because she wants to tell you something else." And as soon as he said that, I think everybody in the place knew exactly what was about to happen. And I think Kathleen Kennedy knew, everybody knew, and I think Ewan McGregor knew. Everybody knew that that everybody knew it was time. It was about to happen. And so as soon as he took a step on the stage, it was before she had even really introduced him. As soon as Ewan started walking out there, the place just went bonkers and continued to go bonkers through the end of the panel. It was sort of the perfect closer to the afternoon yesterday, and it definitely got the biggest ovation of anything in the hall.
How could it not?
That day?
Such a Steve Jobs move too. Just one more thing.
One more thing.
Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, just one more thing. Yeah. So it was good. Star Wars. It led the cheering. The noise meter in a lot of cases, with the possible exception of like when they did the Frozen stuff today. I think Star Wars got the loudest ovations at the Disney Studios panel as well. So for all the people there thinking Star Wars is dead, I don't know. The amount of noise it was making at this convention, I think, is proof otherwise.
Well, it's one hell of a Force ghost, Dom.
It's true.
So I've got Corey Wolfpack, Clone Wars Corey, one of my favorite people in the world. Is Clone Wars Corey down there or no?
He's not. I haven't seen him.
Oh, okay. He tweeted, this is the current timeline for Star Wars fans. I once waited 16 years for a Star Wars film, I think, or something like that. Let's just keep this in mind. The 10 of 29, Resistance Season 2, 10, 29, or maybe the 4th, Force Friday. Then in November, we've got The Mandalorian, Jedi Fallen Order, not so big for me. Then in December, Rise of Skywalker. And then in February, The Clone Wars Season 7, plus Kenobi, plus Cassian, plus another animated show coming after Resistance wraps up. If there's nothing, this is my message to Star Wars fandom and to people worldwide. If there's nothing now that you're looking forward to, save your time.
Yeah, maybe tap out for a little bit.
This is like Disney Plus should be called Disney Fan Service. Have $7.99 and we'll give you everything that you want.
Right. Well, I'm excited. Although Cassian and Obi-Wan we're probably like 2 years out from. They haven't shot a single frame yet. They're not going to start till next year, I believe. so we probably won't see it till 2021. I would think, right?
But they're still coming.
Yeah, they're
I
coming.
think they've even said that Cassian's not coming out until 2021.
Yeah. Okay.
Spread them out as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't want like this Force Friday thing. It irks me if like when the Hasbro figures come out in the cases for a new film, and then there's going to be like, oh, here's a video game figure in there as well, and it's just like, no, film. Let's go power through. It's going to be a hectic run. What else? Anything else that we need to know down there, Dom?
Besides all that, it's been the Mandalorian trailer, which you've all seen. They had members of the cast there to show it off. Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk made a brief appearance to promote the Cassian show, even though, like you guys said, it hasn't shot a single frame yet. They were just kind of there to joke around and, I guess tell some people that it was happening, seeing as I don't know everybody there knew it was happening. And they announced that Clone Wars would be premiering, the new season would be premiering in February, which I think you just read off on the timeline there. So it's, the Star Wars portion, they made a quick announcement about Clone Wars. They brought out Diego and Alan and just had a little fun. And then it was go, go, go with Mando and Obi-Wan stuff to close out the show.
Who doesn't love a little bit of fun? Hey?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bit of fun.
Exactly, yeah. It was great.
Now,
those two have great chemistry and are great on stage. So they, I'm looking forward to a celebration or a Comic-Con or something panel that's just those two plus the rest of their cast for an hour, joking around till they're ready to show a trailer.
yeah, I wouldn't be holding your breath for any Comic-Con panels at this point. It's donezo, but man, it's going to be a loaded celebration in Anaheim.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be
Yeah.
Disney Plus a Palooza, I feel like. Plus, we'll probably get the first look at whatever Ryan's working on, whatever Benioff and Weiss are working on. It's a good time.
Oh yeah, and then the fact that Ryan was back talking about that this week, it's just like,
Yeah.
I feel my spine loosen. I wish that like, why can't they just say that reel's going to be on
Monday.
on Monday? Like, and like with and I want to be dazzled now that the cat's out of the bag with the Mandalorian. I want to be dazzled. I want people messaging me going, "Hey, what do you know about this? Like this show? I just heard about it." I want to be. They've got to get on the promo trail, and I wish with like the celebration thing. Like it seems like a lot of chatter I've heard is they didn't put it out because the effects weren't done, and the effects of the same shots are far more developed now. Just say that.
Yeah.
Like, just say we're not putting it out because the effect shots weren't finished. Like, you don't have to like no sell, because I feel like that just builds up animosity with like, well, there's nothing. You can't even watch when you're watching these blurry bootlegs and stuff. Yeah. Let us watch the blurry bootlegs and just go, oh, hey, dudes, we hadn't really finished those shots yet, so we're not releasing it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the reasoning why they wouldn't do it, but like you said, just say something.
Just open up.
We're very receptive as a fan base.
And how was the reaction for the Mando trailer there, Dom?
It was pretty great. They, it was one of those things. Like, it was clearly another one of those things that everybody had been waiting for all day. And so once it started playing, and it really lived up to the expectations. I think that it was a little bit shorter than I thought it would be. I thought we would get like a 2.5 minute trailer, but when it wound up being only a minute or a minute and a half, it was still pretty cool. And there's so much good in there, right? Like, there's so many interesting things happening. And I was somebody who wasn't blown away by what we saw at Celebration, so it really restored some of my enthusiasm and faith in that series. And yeah, got a huge response in the Disney D23 Hall D23. That's what they call it.
I thought the trailer was like awesome, but I wasn't like ecstatic. After it,
I absolutely was.
Oh, okay, but I didn't sort of. I feel like the only way for me to do that was if they surprised me with something. Like I sort of just enjoyed it. I tell you what I loved was that cracked planet.
Yeah,
Love the cracked planet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Moisturize that boy.
Again, this is where we're just the Australian and Canadian version of the same person. As I felt very much the same way. As like I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool and exciting, but it didn't have. Yeah, you're right. It didn't have like a surprise where it was like jumping up and down the way I was at the end of this Rise of Skywalker stuff that came out today.
Well, sure, but we were at Celebration and we've seen footage of the Mandalorian before.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, but I wasn't
Like,
that jazzed about it then either. So I'm on brand.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
I thought the stuff at Celebration was just okay.
Yeah, it definitely felt more cinematic seeing this footage because it seemed a bit Star Wars, like it seemed high budget fan film.
Yeah, it was paced like a trailer where the stuff they showed at Celebration was like, here's kind of like the first sampling. Like I think I've been watching like potato quality bootlegs of this since. I actually wasn't in the room. I was watching it on the convention floor, and they cut the feed during like the long, like
So lousy.
it was so shitty. I was so angry. Like they showed everything else except the scene and then the supercut of like the different stuff. But my point was, I think they were.
What did everyone do when the screen was blank?
It was groans. Some people started yelling. I was mad. I mean, I think I have a right to be mad. There's the only panel they didn't do that for. I'm literally at a Star Wars convention. I paid to be in Star Wars, and you're not going to give it to me. Like, that was pretty fucked up. But, sorry. But I think the point of that stuff was to kind of give the diehard fans a taste of, like, this is the vibe that we're going for. And then, what? What's so funny?
I'm just happy I wasn't the one that messed up.
Me too.
Sorry. I'm done.
I'm just going to stay on brand. After we saw the first teaser or that clip, whatever it was, all I could talk about was the door.
Mm-hmm.
The door that like.
Oh, yeah, cut the guy.
And oh my god, it came through in the trailer.
So amazing.
Did that get a audible response in the room, Dom?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a gasp when it went to close on the guy. Like, you just know if it kept going any longer, you would have been cut in half, and it would have been a very different sort of Star Wars trailer.
Yes.
It starts off with stormtrooper helmets on spikes.
Oh, that was so like such an intriguing.
That was great.
Setting of the tone.
Are there heads in those helmets?
I hope so.
Ouch.
Dang.
I like where your head's at.
You put heads on spikes. Who just puts a helmet on a spike? There better be heads.
Star Wars is for 12-year-olds.
We are learning a lot about Emily in these live shows.
I really liked
Look, if you're having Werner Herzog as the bad guy in your Star Wars show, there's heads in those helmets.
Hashtag head helmet.
Okay, it's good logic.
I loved it because, like, remember in the Force Awakens trailer when you saw the like Rey go along Jakku and you saw all the crashed ships and stuff?
Yeah, it kind of like added a texture of like, oh.
Well, you sort of got like what you always wanted after Return of the Jedi was like just a taste of what happened next, and then seeing like that it's like 3 years after Return of the Jedi and like stormtroopers are just being sort of dissed so visually hard.
Yeah.
It's that was very intriguing. Dom, do you have to go or do you want to hang out and take some calls? It is up to you, my man. I know your phone's probably red hot.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to bounce, but I was glad I was able to get on and tell you guys a little bit about what's up. I'm sorry I can't stay for calls, but I do think people are about to head back to the convention center out of the abandoned hotel wing, so I think I better make a move. But I appreciate the invite to come on and tell you all about it, and it's been fun.
Dom, the pleasure is all ours, buddy. Yeah. It's thanks so much for taking time out of the convention, and at least now I can sort of pretend I hung out with you there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was sorry to hear you weren't going to make it down. So yeah, we can kind of pretend that this was the same as hanging out at the convention.
Oh, I'm at the Child Plus convention.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
All right, Dom. I'll and let everyone know where they can hear you go more in depth on this in the podcast medium. Sorry.
Sure. So you can find episodes of the Star Wars Underworld podcast over at starwarsunderworld.com. We've already got an episode out covering everything that was announced yesterday, and we're about to record one covering the stuff that was announced today, and we'll have one covering the stuff that's announced tomorrow as well. So we're going to have podcasts for each day of D23, and then plus the weekly shows. And also posting a ton of stuff on Twitter. I'm at DominicJ25, and you can also follow at DSWU for lots of stuff from D23.
Man, that was like a university degree in plugging. That was
This is
awesome.
amazing. So detailed, yet so succinct.
I think we all
Experienced.
are leaving the show
Yeah.
just
How it's done.
a bit more polished.
I've learned a lot today.
Dom, you're the
Good,
man.
I'm glad.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
See you in a
Bye.
few.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. We will take some calls. Is there anything of note happening in the YouTube chat room there, Emily? What's the chat?
People don't like my heads in the helmet idea, and I'm very upset.
Well, how else does the helmet stay posed that way on the pike? If you, it's like hanging a hat on a stick. It's gonna like flop over. There's got to be a head in there.
So for your theory to be true, Rashad,
Uh-huh.
that would mean that there is actual on Earth. The only way they can sit like that is if there's a head in there.
Well, there's got to be something.
So
Otherwise,
it's
it'll
a
just
snuff
like
film
it's
to you
not
because you can't
balanced.
imagine any other way that those helmets could sit there.
Perfectly balanced. No.
Well, how are they there? So there's
Catherine-
heads on
Catherine
set.
suggests that maybe the heads have rotted away.
Oh.
Real head or fake head?
Real heads, obviously. Look,
No,
people
but in real
disappear all
life?
the time.
No, not in real.
Yeah, in
what are you
real
talking
life.
About in real life, they're real heads in the thing.
Yeah.
Well, because you say that's the only way they could sit there.
I meant like, why do you do this?
It makes a good
You know what I
point.
mean. In universe, there's probably a real head. On set, there's some sort of prop to let it sit there properly.
So how come the people in the Star Wars universe couldn't do that?
That's a lot of work for just chop the guy's head off.
I
It
know
sends
what
the
I'd
message
rather
you want to
do.
send, and then just put it on a stick. End of story.
You send
I
the
mean,
message.
all I'm saying is taking off somebody's helmet and then putting it on a pike is dumb.
Yeah, it's
You
like
don't
look at
do
my
that.
hat
You
collection.
Cut off somebody's head, you cut off somebody's head, and then you jam it on, like just like the Ewoks when you see them messing around with the helmets. Totally heads in there.
Oh,
No, I disagree with you there because then the acoustics of having a solid head in the helmet, it wouldn't sound right. You know what I mean? It's like playing a steel drum. It doesn't work unless it's hollow.
Maybe,
Now we have
maybe,
logic.
but maybe you want some of them to have heads and some of them not. So
Well, yeah, you want like
sound.
that bass, and then you got to get the snare section, and
Oh,
then the other.
you
little-
find like I need it. Can you guys like yep, and they're saying
Yeah.
like, oh, can you
Hey,
find a medium-sized head?
Yeah, can you like
Possibly-
just? I need a little quick tune.
Yeah.
to
I need a
tighten it up.
bald guy
Right.
for this scout trooper
But Emily and I are on the same page for sure. Heads in those
Awesome.
helmets
on the set.
on the set. Real heads, practical effects.
People who've crossed Disney.
Yeah.
I saw some support. The Star Wars Immortal in the chat room is supporting your head theory.
Hey, is that Vader immortal or the Star Wars immortal?
The Star Wars Immortal.
Oh.
All of the Star Wars.
I have to say, if you're watching on YouTube, rewind it just maybe like 45 seconds, and actually don't. All us acting out the drumming without sound, not a good look. Let's go to a call. Let's take some calls. It is 563-999-3745. This is the Steele Wars Hyper Chat. Emily Lynn's on the phone. We've got Rashad and Justin in studio. And I think joining us from Ohio, we've got the king of all kings, King Tom. Is that you, buddy?
Hey, Steele, it's King Tom here. I just want to say it's fantastic calling into this show, but the one thing that really annoys me is when the people who are hosting the show can't work out that it's not King Tom.
That's
Wow, that
not
was a
King
good
Tom.
impression, though.
I always think that whoever...
It's actually Rebecca from Perth.
so it is an Australian number.
Ah, you got.
Yes.
It is.
Because I always thought King
And
Dom
that's
was from
also so
Australia
hard
because
to
it
do.
starts with 6-1. And that's the international
Yeah.
code for Australia.
Ah.
And so now I immediately don't think it's someone from Australia.
Now you just think it's
Yeah, like
King
you know when
Kong.
you can't find something because you think there's no way I would have put it back where I should put it.
Right.
Rebecca, Queen Rebecca,
Yeah, how you doing?
Queen of Perth. What are you thinking? What did you come out with most excited of from all the announcements?
Well, I haven't really seen all that much of it because I've been flat out working. Today's my only day off, and I've gotten up at 6 a.m. to listen into the show today. But
Thank you.
Wow,
The
much appreciated.
Mandalorian, for me, it looks really Star Wars. It doesn't look prequels; it looks more like original. And I'm excited about that, and it's kind of the same level of excitement I had when The Force Awakens first came out. So looking forward to that, and really looking forward to getting a Disney subscription now.
Because it's just a week after America and Australia, yeah?
Yeah,
Which is,
which is pretty good. It's not like waiting 3 months for the original films to come out like we did back in the 70s.
no. Yeah, that is good news. It would be because there was talk that it was going to go to Stan and stuff, and I was worried that like things would get missed out and stuff like that. So I'm glad it's only a week.
Yeah.
But then Europe is way longer. Yeah, you guys know about that?
No.
That week is probably gonna be pretty rough though.
Well, yeah,
I'm
but
sorry.
the good thing is that week is only one episode.
Oh, true.
Oh,
true.
this is the
Hey,
best point
hey.
that nobody else has
Wow.
brought up. Thank you
Wow.
for bringing that up.
God,
What
negative
I'm really-
Justin.
I'm just trying to be negative.
What I'm really hoping though is they don't do the thing, seeing as though like The Mandalorian is going to be weekly episodes, that they don't start Disney Plus a week later here, and then we have to wait a week after that to actually watch the new episode, 'cause that would put us 2 weeks behind.
Hopefully they do the first two at the same time so then they can keep up a
Yeah.
global schedule.
I'm hoping that the reason they're waiting a week is just because they think there's going to be so many people joining in, they don't want the system to crash in the first week.
Yeah,
That's why they're staggering it out.
and they
Yeah,
have
I
to.
can't imagine that it just be like every time any content goes up, you guys are waiting a week. That would make not a lot of sense.
It's why the pirate seas are so well in this country. It's great for getting new content that way.
Yeah, no, they have to be. But I was going to say they have to be smarter than that, and then I started thinking about that Force Awakens thumbnail, and I'm like, maybe not.
It all comes full circle.
It all comes down to the thumbnail.
Well, how do other streaming services do it with their originals like Netflix?
It's worldwide, I think, same day.
Yeah,
Okay. Well then, yeah. I would
But they
figure
also
that they're-
dump everything at the same time. So it's less of a rollout.
you got
Am I not in the thing?
it's got to be directed to you.
Oh.
See, it was interesting. I had this inverted commas conversation today on Twitter with someone, and he said, very grumpy, he was talking about how they have to go. I was tweeting about how good a thing it was for Star Wars this weekend, and he was like, oh, they always have to go back to, it's because of the original trilogy. That's why it's so good. And
Wait,
I
what?
thought about it, and I'm like, every one of these projects owes more to something else than the original trilogy. Like Kenobi, like that's prequel.
Prequel.
Mandalorian, that's Clone Wars. Cassian's Rogue One. It's like nothing coming up is like directly.
I mean, there's an argument for The Mandalorian only because it follows Return of the Jedi, but I feel like
But it's got nothing to do with Return
Yeah,
of the Jedi.
it
It's got
has-
to do with what explored the Mandalorian
Yeah.
culture and bounty hunters and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that shot of IG-11 and him when the door
walking in the
opened.
doorway. Oh, dude, that was my chef's kiss. Like
buds.
shot of the thing. They're gonna go do a job. He's a loose cannon droid on the edge.
Buddy Cop series.
Any other thoughts, Rebecca?
Yeah, I did have one thought when you're talking about how this final scene in episode 9 is going to blow everyone away, or it's mind blowing, whatever. And that was that we get to the final scene and it's a young Luke. He wakes up and it was all a dream.
All right, that's all the time we've got for you.
Just
I know.
Hang
I'll
up
go
on
back
her.
to working on my King Kong impersonation.
you
Seems
do
like
you do have a
hooray.
career in impersonations. That's for sure.
All right, that is the worst King Tom call ever. Thanks so much, Rebecca. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Maybe.
All right. Hooray.
She got in a Huru, which is her brand. 614, is this the real King Tom? If so, please speak up.
Yes, it is, and thank you for taking my call. Here's what I've been thinking, Steele. I might have
Yes.
to hire Rebecca and open a franchise of podcast voicemailers.
Wow. So like how
24/7.
so how Dom's
Emailing.
like Canadian me, Rebecca could be Australian King Tom.
Right. Or I could be the American Rebecca, either way.
How do we not know this has already transpired?
It wasn't supposed to be revealed until after The Rise of Skywalker came out.
Got
because
him.
I was going to take some time off, but, you know.
How do we know this isn't Portuguese Emily Lind?
Yeah.
Ooh. Bon dia.
Okay, definitely
That's
not
all
Portuguese.
Portuguese,
Emily
Sure,
Lind.
no.
I'm now very hungry for Nando's. I don't know why I did that to myself. I should just say, if you do want to call in, the lines are clear after Tom. So that's 563-993745. Tom, what did you come out most thrilled about?
Rise of Skywalker. Definitely the Rise, even though we haven't seen what, and I don't hold any jealousy. Well, I hold jealousy to the people who were able to see the preview trailer, whatever we're calling it, but I'm not mad about it. It is a little bit weird just considering the way that Star Wars does things to have a big bit like, I don't know what we're calling it, Ray of Darkness. We don't know what it is, and we don't know how it fits in. And usually, they have done some kind of bait and switch with some of the marketing in the past, lead up to the Rise of the Jedi with you thought she was talking to Kylo, but it ended up she was talking to Luke. But I just don't know what to make of it.
Are you there, Tom?
Yeah, I'm here.
Nice. There's a lovely view of your arm, Rashad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have a bit of a crisis situation with the Mevo. The
What?
temperature is reaching maximum levels,
No way.
and it's going to shut down shortly.
Okay, well, we should shut down shortly. Are you trying to cool it down? You zoomed in on a drink.
I accidentally did that, but I was trying to just
And my
adjust
gut.
the temperature somewhat by shading the light from it, and it's not really helping. But
Okay.
we're about to have a Chernobyl situation with the camera.
Okay, well,
explode?
we'll wrap it up because we've done so well so far.
Yeah.
This has been Emily. Is this Tom? You were there last night. How are we all just?
It's like quit while we're ahead. Is that-
Yeah.
Yeah, go out on a high note like Costanza. But anyway, Tom's thought.
Have you finished your thought, Tom?
I think so, yes.
Okay. All right. Let's wrap it up. Thanks to everyone in the chat room chatting along. If you want to watch back on YouTube, it's always fun. The live chat sort of it plays live as or not live, but as you watch the show, you can see what people were talking about, which is really fun to see the little chat. And you can join in next time. And I should point out that we're going to try to do 1 week live Hyper News, and then another week will be like a classic Steele Wars interview show, just to balance out the weight load. And if you want to hear more, you can join Patreon for $3. You get multiple bonus shows a week. King Tom, he's telling me what happens in books and comics, so I don't have to read them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sadhu, with me, I tell you what's going on in Hollywood and pop culture.
Excellent. Rashad and Justin, do you want to plug your podcast?
Go ahead, dude.
You talk first or I talk first?
You talk
I
first.
talk first. Okay. We have a podcast, Will Communication, that you can listen to for free for Star Wars comics news and
that's
sometimes
It's
books.
a jab, Tom.
It's not a jab.
Okay.
Just putting it out there. The quality is questionable, but it's free. So we're at Will Compod on Twitter. Justin and I just recorded an episode with our very good friends Haas and Will over at Blue Harvest, which you can listen to now. I'm on Twitter at ICOSM. Oh, I also do the Bad Motivators Patreon show, Seismic Charges, with Tom and Luke. And I'm on Twitter at ICOSM.
At Justin Rod.
He's at Justin Rod.
Emily, Dom's plugs versus Rashad's plugs. Where do you stand?
I mean, they both had things going for them.
That was honestly more positive than I was expecting, so I'll take it.
That was more positive than I was hoping. Emily,
Rude.
Canto Bite Dispatch. Love it every week. So fun to listen to.
Oh, thank you.
And I am I'm submitting some content for next episode. I've got an excellent FMK.
Ooh.
Inspired by Instagram photos I have seen. It's very good.
Oh, wow. What a sizzle.
Very good. And really appreciated the new Dick Watch segment. That was enlightening. But let the good people of the internet know where they can listen in.
Yeah, it's Canto Bite Dispatch. You can find us on, we're on SoundCloud and iTunes and all of those things. You can find us Twitter and Instagram at Canto Bite Pod. As Steele alluded to, we are not safe for work, so if there's small children around, listen with headphones, please.
And just to answer the rural farm boy in the chat, no, there won't be a show on Wednesday. We bumped this one forward. So just to say we're on, we're in the heat.
Really wanted to be on that hot, fresh content.
Yes.
What is the Rashad drinking game?
Oh, no.
Aha.
Can we? I haven't done it yet. I'm not going to do it. They're trying to get me.
I'm not sure if Andy Campbell was the one that invented this, but the Rashad drinking game is when Rashad refers to badges as badges.
Oh. I say badges now, too.
Yes.
Don't
Just-
You're
don't.
welcome back anytime,
No.
Just,
Justin.
just
Yes.
You're not a sheriff, it's a pin.
I never said I was a sheriff, but you're so against it.
No,
It makes
I
me want
don't-
it. I want that title.
Rashad, I'm on your side.
Okay.
They don't need no
That
fucking
sounds like a
badges.
clip from the D23 that we're going to watch on Monday. Kylo, I'm on your side. And apparently Rebecca invented that. God, she's
all over
there, just causing trouble. Do you know why? Because it's the most isolated city on Earth.
Is it really?
It's the furthest away from the most things. So she feels like she's safe, just starting dirty business.
But you know what? She's, like you said, all over.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she really is the Australian King Tom, or Tom's the American Rebecca.
I'm thinking about asking King Tom to be the American me.
Mm.
Oh, before we go, didn't it sound like Kathleen Kennedy was proposing to Ewan McGregor on stage? Just
it?
me.
I think it was just you.
Reverse.
Will you take me in this role
Yeah,
as producer?
I do.
Oh, I don't think did I mention this that I don't think I've talked about this, but you know how there's a rumor that Ewan McGregor's going to get to direct an episode?
Oh, yeah.
Was it? I thought that was confirmed that he was going to do a couple.
Okay, that's stealing a storyline from the Beverly Hills 90210 reboot.
Who directed an episode of?
Jason Priestley.
Oh, maybe that's why it was.
Because it's a show about the show.
Yeah.
They're playing
Oh.
themselves, and they're making a reboot in the show.
Oh, that sounds awful.
that's
And the
mad.
only way he would do it is if he got to direct an episode. So when Ewan McGregor did that, now I'm like putting this Beverly Hills 902. It's like I've got Tori Spelling and Kathleen Kennedy going to see Ewan McGregor to ask if he'd be interested in this. I'm very confused. I'm up. My son is teething. I'm up very late.
But I thought you hated the show.
Oh no, I love it. It's so bad.
Oh, so it's like a hate watch thing.
Oh no, I now can see it's the Godfather 1 and 2 of TV series.
I thought Godfather Part 3 was pretty good.
Ooh, okay. Says a lot about you.
Rude.
Ouch. You just got slam dunked on live on
Yeah,
air.
man.
Oh, the cousins kiss.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And you're into Star
I was just
Wars.
kidding.
I mean,
I've seen it like once, but I've seen the other two several times more.
Now I am hoping that the thing overheats and shuts down.
I just got the 5th warning, so probably.
And on
will.
that, may that force be with you as I press play and we go out. It's going to be everyone in the chat. That was super fun. Star Wars is it's doing okay.
It's alive.